same problem. Do you know what I mean?
But then all of your caveats ran into the same problem. This is what you discussed several. Oscillating model.
I used the word term, but if like let's just say like if you would say okay like there's a God like I'd say having your explanation of God is say like a simple God that is non-material that exists outside of time and space and blah blah.
I'm not saying simple. We don't know the nature. What we say is Laysa Kamithli Shay, which means God tells us which is he's unlike anything we can imagine. We don't say simple or complex.
But in that explanation, like I'll grant you, that because it's self-fulfilling or self-explanatory. You can have that, but that's just it's made up though.
But you're putting it within a context. What you're doing is you're saying it internally makes sense. But I'm not saying that. I'm saying as a rational conversation based on us as human beings, it's the best inference for me and for you.
No, but it makes sense just as much that the universe is existing. Do you know what I mean? Like because they're both potential causes of the universe.
Let's go back to a simple and original point. I really want to understand your perspective on this. It's about consistency as an atheist. Okay?
Right.
Now, when I asked you about your t-shirt, let me just finish the point. I'll let you speak.
Yeah, go on.
When I asked you about your t-shirt and your trainers, you said that they're designed.
Right.
If I said that they could arise by chance, you said no, ridiculous. They're designed.
Yeah. Well, they can, but
the point is that you assume or believe that because of the nature of it, which is that they look designed. There's a feature.
It's not about looking designed. Again, it's by the fact that we've had t-shirts and shoes.
You have the problem of induction, which is just because the past is a certain way doesn't mean the future will be the same way. This is a problem in science.
Yeah, but I can also replicate it myself.
No, sure, but you haven't done it right now. That's the point. Right now, you haven't made a t-shirt. You made this own t-shirt, right?
Okay, sure.
But I'm talking about this specific t-shirt right now.
Sure.
You know, there's a designer based on the features and the nature of the t-shirt itself.
Sure.
Right? Now,
because that is by
it's almost necessity.
By induction because
Okay.
I've seen t-shirts before, so therefore
it's also by the nature of it. Because if I asked you about the t-shirt, you would say, well, it has arms, it has sleeves.
Sure.
They're half sleeves.
Sure.
It has a design. Your t-shirt has a beautiful design on it.
But by your worldview, I wouldn't be able to identify a t-shirt.
Let me just make the point.
Go on.
The point I'm making is this. That when you look at your t-shirt, you know it's designed. Right?
Sure.
If you observe it, if you just hang it up on a door and you look at it, it has features, it has symmetry, it has shape, it has function.
Sure.
Now my point is this. As a Muslim, I'd agree.
Okay.
I know this t-shirt's designed.
Sure.
I don't know who made it. I don't know where it was made, right? So the point is, we believe as rational human beings, we infer this based on the nature of the thing itself.
Okay.
Now my point is this.
But hold on.
Let me just make the point.
All right, go on.
As a Muslim, right, when I look at the universe, which is far more complex than these t-shirts and trainers,
Sure.
I use the same consistency, the same logic, and I say that must be necessary. If the t-shirt is designed, something as simple as a t-shirt, something as complex as the universe, with all of its order and all of its fine-tuning and everything in it, must be designed. But you as an atheist, what you do...
I don't give that.
Let me just ask you a question. But you as an atheist, what you do is, no, my t-shirt must be designed because of its nature.
Sure.
But when it comes to the universe, which is far more complex than my t-shirt, I still will reject the creed.
Yeah. That's
What's your thinking behind
No, it's the watchmaker's argument. It's Pardon? So it's a t-shirt, right? In a natural world, blah blah blah. But when it comes to the start of the universe, there's a possibility of chance, right? So I wouldn't give it the.
There's a possibility of chance
I wouldn't give it the
t-shirt
design.
as well.
I wouldn't give it the and there is, but.
There's a bigger possibility or chance.
Sure.
With your t-shirt coming out
of nothing.
Nothing,
then, yeah.
right?
Sure.
Just 1 second, bro. Just understand the point.
Sure.
There is a bigger...
I do understand it.
No, sure. But I want to... Because the thing is, we're missing points. You're not understanding or addressing certain things I'm saying. There is a bigger chance of your t-shirt coming into existence by chance or out of nothing than the universe. And you would agree to this point.
Yeah.
Yet when it comes to the universe, you choose the chance hypothesis. But when it comes to your t-shirt, you choose the design hypothesis.
Yeah.
Why the inconsistency?
Because as I told you, I don't know how it started, and to say it's a designer doesn't make sense to me. Just because it doesn't show theories of design in the sense of you might think the universe it has uniformity and stuff, but that uniformity can come out of chance. I mean, it looks quite peaceful to us here on Earth.
You're not addressing my point, bro.
Why? What do you mean?
You're talking about certain things.
Sure.
My point is very simple.
Right.
As an atheist, when it comes to something as simple as your t-shirt.
Sure, but wait. But no. I'm trying to give you the answer.
Let me just emphasize it again, bro, because I think you're giving me an answer, but you're not answering my question.
I am. I'm trying to get there because it's not as simple.
Let me break it down.
Because your question was asked on a principle.
Let me ask you the
latest. Scientists now. What's the latest theory?
No, 1 second, bro. 1 second.
Do you know what the latest thing is? just stick with stick discussion with him, please.
I'd also say that scientists don't all agree on the same thing.
That's the latest theory. Just about a couple of weeks ago, came out on the news.
Right.
That scientists now think that the universe was actually created.
Brother, please, just let them have a discussion and we talk after, please. So it stays on the topic, please, I think.
Emphasize the point. The point is very simple.
Sorry.
Well, as an atheist, let me just finish the point.
Sure.
You will believe a simple T-shirt.
Yeah.
A simple T-shirt. You will take the design hypotheses over the chance hypothesis.
Yeah, but as I
Let
said,
me finish.
Sure.
When it comes to something far more complex like the universe, which is far more complex than a T-shirt, you rather take the chance hypothesis over the design hypothesis.
because
why the inconsistency?
Okay, can I finish? As I said, because we can observe T-shirts and see them, right? Because if it were the case that
We
it
can
was
observe the universe and we
can
see it.
Let me finish. So if it was inferred that the truth is what you're saying, right? If that was correct, then I wouldn't be able to identify a T-shirt because really it'd be a T-shirt on a T-shirt, standing in a T-shirt in a world full of T-shirts because everything would have been designed. So how could I identify something designed from naturalism or something from nature if everything's designed?
You're going off on a
No,
tangent.
it is. No, so that's what I'm trying to say.
How is that
Like,
answering my point?
no, because I said to you, I can test T-shirts, or we observe T-shirts. That's why we
We
know.
can test the universe. We observe the universe.
No, for example,
Let's just finish the-
I can see all the different like this is an example of a T-shirt. So therefore, replications of said T-shirts, right? Then you could be like, okay, that must have been made because there's similarities. With the universe, we can't be like this must have been made because we don't know other universes. So until we're able, if we are blah blah blah, to test other universes, we won't be able to know.
But that's a fallacy. I'll tell you
So
why that's a
until we know, we can't say that
But
we
what
know.
you said is is fallacious. Let me tell you why.
don't believe it
Let me
is.
tell you why. I'm going
Go
to
on.
explain why. Because when we're talking about the universe,
Sure.
and we're talking about physical things, yes, they have the same nature, which is that they're physical. And then as an atheist,
Right.
you only believe in the physical. Or as a naturalist, you
Sure.
only believe that there is physical. There's nothing beyond the physical. So the nature is the same. The difference is that the universe is far more complex than your T-shirt. That's the difference, right? That's the difference, really.
No, sure, yeah.
Let me just finish the point, bro. The difference is, the nature is the same. They're both physical. The difference is, your T-shirt's far more simpler than the universe, right? Which gave a rise to your T-shirt itself. Now, my point is very simple. On atheism, why is there this inconsistency? Which is, when it comes to your T-shirt, without seeing the design or the process taking place, you believe that it was designed. But when it comes to the universe, you're not willing to accept that, but you take chance.
Because
You know what this shows me, bro? This shows me that just to deny a God or a creator, you're not willing to accept. You're willing to suspend your own rationality and be inconsistent.
No, I believe that it's being very rational.
No, but you're being very inconsistent.
And I'm not being inconsistent. As I said, with regards to the tests, you've seen T-shirts. You've seen
What you're saying?
yeah, sure.
He can defend himself, man. Let him talk. Okay, the point is this, bro. You're being inconsistent. I'll tell you why. Because the nature of the universe and the nature of your T-shirt they're both physical. It's the same.
Sure.
Yeah?
Sure.
The raw material is the same, atoms and molecules.
Right.
Yeah? Okay? And on naturalism, you will believe this more than me as a Muslim.
Right.
Okay? Now, this being the case, the only difference is the difference of complexity. The universe is more complex than your T-shirt.
No, but as I said,
Do you agree to this?
Yeah,
Okay.
it is.
Let's go through this point by point.
However, let me jump in.
No, one second. Let's go through it point by point.
Yeah, let me
Let's go, bro.
counter that
No,
point.
I'll tell you why. Because I've asked you 6 times, bro. You've done the same thing. The point is,
Because I feel like I'm telling you answers, but you're not accepting the answers.
You're not answering my answers. You're not answering the question.
I'm not giving you the answers that you want me
No,
to give
because
you.
no,
It's
you're not
different.
answering the question.
I am.
No, you're
I'm
not.
saying literally like to make your point again because I've gone off.
Okay, so let me finish the point.
Go on. I'll let you.
So the nature of the universe and the nature of the T-shirt is the same. They're both physical, atoms and molecules, literally, right? The difference is the universe is far more complex and ordered than your T-shirt.
Sure.
Now, when it comes to your T-shirt, you would say it was designed based on its nature, right?
Sure.
And your T-shirt is simple compared to the universe. When it comes to the universe, you're not consistent, and then you jump to chance over design. Why this inconsistency? This is the question.
Because there's a possibility, right?
Let me finish. What's the possibility?
I don't know. There's a probability that this could have existed because it does.
Okay, one second. So this is
Listen,
my-
he asked him earlier to speak to him,
Bro,
so
what's-
please
what's-
let them two speak. Now I'm just talking to you two because they asked earlier to speak to
Okay,
him.
so you're saying there's a possibility of chance when it comes to the universe, right?
Yeah.
Okay, but here's the thing. There's a bigger possibility of your T-shirt coming into existence by chance.
Sure.
Let me finish, bro. There's a bigger possibility of your T-shirt coming into existence by chance than the universe. So again, why the
I told
inconsistency?
you because the universe has the added chance of time. It's just like regardless of the possibility, like it happened, innit? Like it happened. I don't care. I don't understand as to the technicalities between it. But the only thing that I understand is that we're here, right? And there's a chance that we could be here through natural things, and that for me is a better explanation than saying that God did it. Because
well, then if that's what you're saying,
Sure.
then be consistent when it comes to things within life. Then be consistent. Say most likely your teacher came into existence by chance. You should say that. You should maintain that.
No. Because as I said, because you're talking about something material coming from immaterial.
No, hold on. What I'm talking about is the nature of these things. We're not going to the causes of it. There's a different argument. We're talking about the nature of these two.
I mean, it does. Like that's just like literally. I'm saying I don't know the cause of the universe, right?
But that's fine.
I'm saying I don't know. And being an atheist, it's not that I'm coming here to say that this is what it is. I'm saying that I don't believe what you're saying. Do you know what I mean? I'm rejecting.
That's fine, Adrike. So you and your right are fully rightful to reject what I'm saying. No problem. You are fully have the right to have your own opinion. No problem. But if we're having a rational discussion, right? And we're talking about the nature of the universe and where it came from, and we've been discussing this for a while now. I'm asking you a simple question,
Sure.
and it's about consistency.
Yeah.
The nature of the universe and the nature of your t-shirt is the same. They're both physical. Okay? The universe is far more complex than your t-shirt. That's the difference.
Sure.
So when it comes to your t-shirt and your trainers and the things you wear and the things around you, you say design without seeing the designer.
Sure.
But when it comes to the more complex universe, you say chance.
I don't know.
You say chance.
Yeah, chance. I don't know.
So why don't you say the same about your t-shirt? I didn't see the designer of the
Because
t-shirt.
I told you, I've observed t-shirts. I've observed t-shirts.
Have you observed this t-shirt being designed?
I don't have to observe t-shirts. I can observe other
But
t-shirts.
that's not the point. The
It
point
is the
is,
point. That's the answer, right?
we're talking. We're not going to get you.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Do you want to conclude that point?
Yeah,
I think we made that point.
Because-
All I say, bro, is really consider what I'm saying and be consistent.
I
with
do
it.
understand. And as I said, I give you your...
Have you read the Quran?
No, I haven't.
You know, there's a powerful verse in the Quran where God says in the 3rd chapter, verse 190,
Sure.
Indeed, in the creation of the heavens and the earth and the alternation of the night and day, there are signs for those people of understanding. You're a rational guy.
Sure.
Yeah? You had a good conversation.
Yeah.
And you understood many of the points. Some points, obviously, you didn't
Well,
agree.
arguably.
Agree. Let's just say agree. But you're a rational guy. What I sincerely encourage you to do is pick up the Quran and study it.
Sure.
Because the Quran is a very rational text as well. It's not only a spiritual text, it's a very rational text. And you know, God says He'll guide. I'm just here to give you the message. Pick up the Quran and read it and study. I'm sure you'll find some beautiful things.
Yeah, I mean, with like I do. Obviously, I've never read it. I was Christian and I never read the Bible. Yeah, like and
As a rational individual,
I'll never, and I won't read it from start to finish because
just read something. That's what I'm saying.
I do. Yeah, I've picked up on a few things here and there. Obviously, having conversations with people like yourself and like what things have said. Yeah, like yeah.
Have a read, bro.
Sure.
Thanks for your time, bro.
Yeah, it was very
appreciate it.
interesting. Very
And again, I just want to make it clear on record. You know, I appreciate atheists like yourself because many atheists get very aggressive. They attack Muslims. You know, they're like, you're this, you're that. We're rational.
Sure.
But I really love this thing about you as a human being. You're willing to engage on a very simple, nice level, right? And I really appreciate it.
Yeah, you
Thank
too,
for your
man.
time.
You too.